Hello. Oh, let me get to where I can see it on the side. Hey. Thank you, Annabelle. Before the stream even started, thank you. Reminder, just easier to read. have to absorb all in the background. Yet always fun participating. Hey, thanks for hanging out in the background. That's cool too. I appreciate you. And hi, Jenna. Oh, it'll be nice to see some familiar usernames in the. I posted that Terrifier video today. And it always happens with videos like this. Like, I know what's going to happen, but it's like a bunch of unfamiliar usernames because it's a bunch of like randos that are coming to the video to like tell me why I'm wrong or whatever. And I'm like, where are my familiar friends? That's okay, Cora. You can hang out in the background. Thanks for hanging out either way. Bree, hi Bree. Welcome back to Creepy Book Club. Sorry, I'm just gonna adjust a couple things here. There we go. Ready to talk about a book. Low-key tired of talking about Terrifier now with that whole Damien Leone thing, and then I just posted that video, and that's going to be going on for a couple of days. Ready to talk about a book. Let's talk about something else. Let's talk about something with substance. Excited. First official like Creepy Book Club of 2025. I know technically we did a stream in January for our December read, but that was for the December 2024 pick. So this is our first 2025. For the first 20 pages of next month's book, I might have to pull a Petiel. Yeah, that one's supplication it looks to be a little odd. I'm excited to at least give it a try. We'll see what happens. I almost like looking at it. I know we don't want to talk too much about the next book since I haven't finished it or I haven't read it yet. But I kind of want to try and do it in one sitting. I feel like I read this one in one sitting and it worked out really well for me. And I think for something like supplication, maybe it might be the way to go. So I think I'm going to give it a try. Another reason that I'm built different. I don't think I am. Oh boy. Hey, you know, we have some pretty good picks. Like I think overall, like we've picked bangers. So I feel like every now and again, one that isn't as good, you know. Or isn't as, I don't want to say isn't as good, maybe isn't as like universally loved by the book club is fine and to be expected. Hey, Brandon. Didn't read the book, but wanted to hang. That's totally cool. Jeez. I mean, bless you for rereading that. That's crazy. Go you. My grandma's big on romance books. I want to give this to her without warning. Oh my God. Yeah, this was good. Like I said, I read it all in one sitting. It was in our little reading hangout over on the Patreon Discord. And I just ran through it in 2 hours. And I enjoyed it. I think this is one where it's like I never know with like shorter, you know, like shorter books where I'm like, am I going to feel like there isn't enough to this or I want more, or like, especially if you like it, you know, if you're really enjoying it, where I'm like, I just want more. This like honestly, for the most part, felt like the perfect size. I was like, like, could it have been longer and we get maybe some more backstory for the characters, and maybe it's a little slower paced, sure, but oh, and there's Daisy. Read the book, no robots in it. Rereading The Shining and Bunny right now. Nice. Oh, hi Daisy. Okay. Also think January, February, my picks back to back. Hey, I didn't ask you to say that, so okay. I didn't come up with any fun banners for this one. I was looking to see if there was like discussion questions for it. It's hard. Not every book does, you know. Oh, Daisy's she's gonna lay down. And then I started replying to the normal comments on my Terrifier video, and then I got sidetracked. But I would agree this was the perfect amount. Could have gone deeper, but I'm perfectly fine not. Yeah, like I was like, it could have, but I think it was like the perfect length. At least it was a happy ending. Des. Oh my gosh. Okay. I mean, let's go ahead and get into it. I mean, what were you guys' thoughts? Did you kind of know what was going to happen? I didn't even like really read the back, to be honest. So I don't know if this really gives you any hints. I'm actually going to read it right now and see. Rosemary meets Ash at the farmer's market. Ash, precise, pretty, and practically perfect, sells bars of soap in delicate pastel colors. Sorry, the text is really weird on the book. Sprinkles, spackled cupcakes stacked on scalloped stands. Oh my god, the alliteration. Beeswax candles, jelly jars of honey, and glossy green plants. Ro has never felt this way about another woman. With Ash, she wants to be her, have her in equal measure. But as her obsession with Ash consumes her, she may find she's not the one doing the devouring. I mean, okay, I guess it kind of gives you a like there's a little hint there, but you may not know, you know, people may not realize like, but this girl's vocabulary made my eyes roll in my head so many times. The only thing I'll say to that is that it almost kind of, you almost kind of get away with it because of Rosemary's profession. Like her whole thing is like literature and teaching English and stuff like that. So it's like I feel like it kind of all could get away with it, maybe. When that's a good thing to ask too. Like when are you talking about the hint to the cannibalism? Because when did you guys realize? Because I felt like I didn't pick up any hints, and then it just happened, and I was like, oh wait. Like until it's like extremely obvious what's happening. Like obviously, like we know Ash was the odd one. Like I already knew like it's Ash. Whatever's going on, it's Ash. You guessed about halfway through what the special ingredient was. Nice. I get that it was her thing, but it just screamed, "Hey, look at me! I'm so smart." I'm like, so smart. Hi, Brian. Wondering when the horror was going to start for most of the book. I mean, there is an inherent horror in there's a like inherent like fear and trepidation with meeting somebody new like this too. Like I think I think like romance like lends itself really well to horror. Like dating and all of that, like that can be really anxiety inducing and scary, especially when you read a story like this. Like you have no idea who it is you're getting involved with. Okay. Sorry, Veronica. Husband's account because it is premium. Hey, you know what? And that makes sense. Is the book horrific or is it stuffy? What do you mean by stuffy? Romance lends itself to horror, and I just got home from. And is that not similar? Like, aren't they like? Isn't the premise like they're on a first date or something like that? Like, I know that it's like there's an outside killer, but still, you know what I mean? Like, it just like it's all encompassing, this idea of like you don't know who you're getting involved with, and it's scary. You're putting yourself out there. There's a kind of fear to that. So I think the book is like overall really unsettling, and then it gets to like the legitimate horror of like, oh, she's butchering people. You didn't realize it was his actual name? Yep. Oh, stuffing, like the writing is dry. I didn't find it that to be that, but it's definitely up to each person, you know. Rosemary really did make some questionable decisions. I feel like this also relies a lot on like the very like, I would say like sapphic, but I feel like this tends to like, this is more of like, at least where like the internet culture is concerned, it's like a lesbian stereotype of like moving really, really fast, you know, like U-hauling and da 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 da. Like, but the like just like they don't like U-haul, but you know what I mean? Like they move really fast. Like there's a deep emotional connection already that gets made. Said last month that I wouldn't speak unless spoken to, and I've complied so far. Someone get me an award. Hi, Mario. How am I supposed to know you're here, though, if you don't at least say hi? Notice how I was speaking to everybody else because they were talking or typing. You know what I mean? Oh, look at that immediately. It's like you you come in and then you just make me start arguing with you. I'm stopping now. Why are you speaking? So good to you. Oh my god. That's why I spoke out. Didn't think things through. Waste not, want not. Yeah. Yeah. I feel like that was like one aspect that like maybe could have used a little bit more development. I don't necessarily know if I would have needed stuff from Ash's point of view though, because I feel like that kind of would have ruined the surprise, because everything she does is because of this abuse that she suffered, this trauma. I mean, hey, though, at least she's not wasting anything. Like, I feel like you kind of gotta respect her a little bit. Like, is it DNFable? I guess it depends. Like, maybe if because Tana has some, like, if you find the writing similar to the way Tana finds the writing, maybe. I think it's quite like, it moves really fast though, and I think it's a like, I mean, anything's DNFable. Technically speaking. I had a good time reading it. I felt like it moved really fast and the story was compelling enough that I was like, ooh, like, okay, so it's obviously going to be Ash who's the one that's creepy. And then she starts like having like, there's like little moments here and there where I'm like, oh, okay. And I just kept wanting to know what was going on. So I just kept going. Could have gone for one soap making scene post legs being cut off. This one read so smoothly. I read it one sitting. Yeah, exactly. Like it was really easy to read in one sitting. Like it was just, yeah. Like it was compelling enough. The characters were compelling enough. And I feel like Ash is a character that it's like, I feel like we would all, like, as we're reading it, like, we know that something's going on with her. Like, they're like, Delilah Dawson is giving us the clues. But at the same time, she's like, so, and maybe it's just because I'm a lesbian, but I'm like reading it, I'm like, but she's low-key interesting. Like, honestly, like I kind of envy her too. Like, I kind of want her life. Like, I kind of, you know what I mean? Like, I wish I could grow my own vegetables and make cupcakes and make soap. And you know what? Like, she's a super compelling villain. Like, like I could see why anyone would get drawn in to her. You know what I mean? Like, so that's what also made it super compelling as well. I love how you just asked that. Do you care if any of the rest of us have a deep analysis of the book, Marielle, or just Des? Interesting. The Sapphic book, and you're not asking the fellow Sapphics here. Me just clearly I'm in a like a shit stirring mood today. Yeah. Yeah. What kind of like deep analysis do you want? Are you gonna, because if you want to read it, if I give you the analysis, well, I mean, now you already know what's going on also, so I don't know if, I mean, it's still short that I still think like you could read it and it would be fine, but now you know what's going on, so there's no surprise. That is me today. That is me today. Stirring shit. Not that, yes, Marielle. My analysis of the book is that more people need to go to therapy. Oh, for sure. Oh, for sure. I feel like that could be like the analysis of every single book we've read so far in Creepy Book Club. Is that if there's one thing I think anybody should take away from Creepy Book Club, it's that everyone should go to therapy. Don't be like these characters. Go to therapy. So I mean, I already kind of gave you some. Like, I feel like it's definitely, I don't know if, I mean, I guess it could work with a heterosexual relationship, but I feel like, I don't know. I feel like you'd be thinking of like the red flags more if Ash were a guy or something like that. And then we're watching this femme character like get so into them super quickly, we would be like, wait. So I feel like it kind of I don't know, maybe it's asking us to like maybe question that a little bit, that sapphic stereotype maybe of moving super duper fast, because I didn't really think anything of it. I was like, yeah, like dude, I would want her to pay attention to me too. I would want Ash to pay attention to me too. I'd totally be obsessed with her. It's like, I want chickens. I want to grow vegetables. Like, so I feel like, until like really the first kind of hint started dropping, I was like, oh, and even then I was like, I don't know though. Oh, definitely uneven power dynamics would give it very different vibes. Yes. Agreed, agreed, agreed. Yeah, yeah. If we're in your head, I think you're doing great. I mean, all they did in the entire book was say if she were a man, so it definitely would not work in hetero world. Yeah, exactly. That's true. That is true. She does call that out on herself a lot. Which is, I mean, I don't know that it needed to be said in such plain terms. Like, it's like, we get it. I get it. Oh, okay. Daisy. Hey, Daisy. Somebody else is hi. What's it? She just says hi. She's like, all right. she's like, and leave me alone, please. I just wanted to come in here and lay on my bed. You said you wanted me to tell her hello. She's fine. You see how quickly she went back down? She's fine. She takes so many naps. She takes so many naps. It's okay. Okay. Cutie pie. She is cute. Okay. Well, I guess speaking of like how quickly the relationship moves and everything, and the fact that Rosemary keeps pointing out she does think about her ex quite a lot. So Rosemary is confirmed bisexual, I think. But I mean, I don't want to say I think, but she does admit like Ash is like the first woman she notices in this way, so she thinks you know what I mean? Like, so I don't know if anybody feels a certain way about that, like how it's like the first woman she happens to fall for ends up being crazy. She's only summoned when you give her treats. Yeah, I could summon Daisy a little easier if I had treats, but she's always just content for head scratches and a nap too. Or another thing that I can't say, otherwise she'll start freaking out. It's 4 letters. I think you guys know what it is. Okay, well, crazy is not the best word. She's traumatized. Extremely traumatized. I think at the end, she's definitely at least a lot more. What's the word I want to use? Like when it's all like out, like, and there's no more secret. Aggressive. I don't know if like even if aggressive is the right word either. Yeah, that word. I didn't want to. I can't even spell it. Otherwise she knows. I think it makes sense how intense it was for her at first. Ash just believes in natural resources. I think the book does a good job of like making her like where it's like almost we would kind of be like on her side like for a bit, you know what I mean? Like if she was just killing men. But she's not, because isn't there that missing girl also? And I know that's absolutely like there's a bias that I that I'm fully leaning into there, and whatever, I'm just gonna lean into it. Um That should have bothered me, but it didn't. I kind of thought of the cannibalism as a metaphor about how bright and fast love can be all consuming, and some people would do anything for it. That is a really good metaphor. And the summary even hints at it too, like, Rosemary may find she's not the one doing the devouring. Like they're both like craving love in different ways, and love and acceptance in different ways. With Rosemary, it's because she's coming out of this relationship that was toxic in its own way. With the little bit we get about it, it was a little toxic in its own way. It wasn't necessarily like emotionally good for her. So when she meets somebody like Ash, who's seems to be like genuinely interested in her and likes her lifestyle, like she kind of like, you can like, I mean obviously we can tell because we're in our head that she wants to like impress her. Like very, very much so. And then Ash is the same way, where it's like she's just seeking it the only way she's been taught to seek love and acceptance, which is to like be perfect in this way and like not waste anything. And I've dated some crazy girls, now that you mention it. This is some rite of passage or what? Is this Happiest Season meets Jennifer's Body? I don't think it's really related to either of those necessarily. Like she eats people, but it's more in like a Hannibal Lecter kind of way. Not so much like a Jennifer's Body kind of way. And there's no family involved. So nobody's meeting any family. So which would like kind of lead into the Happiest Season thing, but just narcissist magnet actually would come off. But no, Bree's 100% right. I didn't even notice. I didn't even see this. It didn't even occur to me to think anything about first girl you date is crazy. I just thought it made more sense to fall fast because it was even newer. True. That's true. Like, I mean, Rosemary figured out, like, I mean, like right then in that moment, like when she meets Ash and starts to interact with her more. She's like, it's very much like, I think she wants to like explore this like new to Rosemary newfound part of herself. So I think that would definitely make her want to like lean into it harder and maybe not see any like warning signs that we as the reader are seeing. Or when she does like see something as kind of strange, like she's very easy to accept Ash's explanation for it. Like when she kills the raccoon, which is like super, super violent, super scary thing. I I would think like for most of us, like if I saw something like that, like if I went over to somebody's house that I was into and she like killed a raccoon like that, I'd be like, so sorry. This isn't gonna work out. But with Rosemary, it's so new and she's so like enamored with Ash, and she both is like really into her and also wants to kind of impress her in a way that she like accepts her excuse and or her reasoning, and it's just like, yeah, okay, we're just gonna go along with it. And as the reader, we're like, run away, turn around and run the other way. Is it a sapphic cannibal? I was just saying, like, the cannibalism is more like, because Jennifer is also eating people, but it's different than in the way like Hannibal Lecter eats people. You know what I mean? Like she's making all these like delectable dishes with all these like homegrown ingredients, and then the meat is, is her kills, her victims. I think the bad food plus raccoon plus no internet, I would flee. Could see Vicky being the lead singer for Sapphic Succubus. Oh my gosh. Yeah, has anyone claimed that band name? We should do that right now. So that way nobody else can take that. No internet being the first priority on the list. Well, in the bad food, she only gets sick that one time. Everything else she eats is like really good. This is very like talking about the food. I love the descriptions of the food. I love stuff like that because there's something there, like it's definitely very emotional. I think there's something there of like being cared for, like when you're like when somebody's like feeding you well like that or like making you a nice meal. All right. All right. Is this your bit for this year, Mario? Is this gonna be the running bit? Oh my god. If it is, just let me know. Like I'll ham it up each time. Same. I think I've excused a lot of inexcusable behavior from older relationships, unfortunately. But I'd hope I would run from raccoon murder. Yeah. But that's like the interesting thing it brings up, like what like I don't want to like make it sound like we're all just like desperate for love and affection, but like if if you found yourself like in that mindset like that, what would you ignore? Like what could you possibly ignore? I think this could also be like an extreme, like a hyperbolized, obviously, discussion on like, when you get involved with somebody like that with the intention maybe of potentially spending the rest of your life with this person, like what, like the sort of like baggage and pasts that people bring in, like are people that are bringing in with themselves that affect in a relationship. So obviously something like trauma that Ash went through, which obviously it's presenting in a really extreme way because she's murdering people. But it's like it's a story, it's hyperbole, so it's like that's insulting. I'm deciding to take offense to that right now. I was like, girl, walk away as soon as Ash kept calling her Rosemary against her wishes. True, that's a big one. That's a big one as well. But then it just keeps feeding into like how much she wanted to, like how much she just was craving this relationship that she was willing to kind of be like, maybe it's okay. Maybe that'll just be what she calls me or something like that. When it's really something like, no, she's like, if we want to be the therapist here, like, no, she's like deliberately ignoring your wishes here. She is apparently hot though, so I can't say I would actually walk away, but I should. I love the apparently hot. She was apparently hot. I mean, the whole like this definitely was like the cottagecore sapphic to a T. Like Delilah knew what she was doing with that, because I was like, I'm there. I want to hang out at Ash's house every day. Unfortunately, I don't think she would like me because I don't eat meat. So it's like she would prepare it for me and I wouldn't eat it. So that would be wasteful. But you know what I mean? Like her general vibe, like I'm there. She must have really built up Ash before the raccoon enough to excuse a lot. Yeah. Well, that was like the raccoon's kind of like the first like extreme thing where you're kind of like, whoa. Because up until then, like everything else was like was like maybe a little more subtle or maybe softer. That kind of goes with Ash's personality, but that was a lot more violent. First of all, I'm not trying to eat on the porch all the time. There's bugs out there. Valid. Kidding, of course, when you announced it. I was like, yeah, we've been new. Thank you. Appreciate that. A hardcover graphic novel of Jennifer's body at $3,000? Is that what I'm reading? That's kind of crazy. That's super crazy. I didn't know there was a graphic novel. Oh, excuse me. Shouldn't be tired. I slept a lot, but I was out super late last night. I met this girl and I hung out at her house. She like grows her own food. She killed a raccoon, but Well, I was of the mind, like, until it like becomes extremely obvious where the meat is coming from. I was like, oh, like I thought maybe she was just murdering people, and I didn't connect the like not wasting anything dots. I fear I might fall into her trap a little bit. If I ate meat, like I might. I might fall into that trap, but just a little bit. The bit I really liked the ending though. Like as dark as it is, it threw me for a loop. Like I didn't immediately catch like the time that had passed. So it was really fucking creepy. Like I kind of want to know like what happens in between. So like they kill the guy together because Ash makes her do it. She makes her do it to like prove that she can be trusted or whatever. But then there's like a time jump and Rose's legs have been removed. Where I'm like, oh fuck. Like the end's really scary. It's very unsettling, and it kind of like builds up the unsettling to scary to terrifying, and then the ending is just like we didn't make soap. We did not make soap. That's date number 2. I could be like, but I still stayed. Yeah, the ending was great. Super scary. And then she writes the poem with the hidden message in it. that gets published in the hopes that like maybe somebody could help her. But yeah, and then when Ash like lets her know, like, yeah, I saw the code you put in there, and then even then it's like she doesn't kill her, she's just, you know, she's just gonna cut off her hands. Had to reread the ending to register what has happened. Is that a good thing? It's just like it doesn't I mean, I liked it because it doesn't like necessarily like hold your hand and force feed you. I know you didn't ask me, but but it just takes you a second to be like, oh, like a little bit of time has passed. Like some time has definitely passed. We have an annual tradition now of a shocking cannibalism reveal. So we did our surprise cannibalism early in the year. Surprise! Surprise! Moral of the story: loss of limbs, the price of true love. That's actually kind of it. It's like maybe a little bit more like a toxic relationship. Well, it's like definitely like a combination of like what Brie said earlier, like the all-consuming power of love. Could be a toxic relationship, like eats you alive. Because you know Rose gonna have to eat herself. Like she took her legs off. Rose definitely ate part of her legs. You know what I mean? I'll only ask you next time to get your channel up. I know. I'm continuing the bit. I'm yes-anding you. My dream. I love garlic too much though, so I know they're not a vampire. I like garlic way too much, so I fear that that's not going to happen to me, but I can live vicariously through books and stuff, so. That wouldn't be a problem with Ash. I bet you Ash likes garlic. I would just have to start eating meat again, so. Yeah, I don't know. It's probably a deal breaker. Probably a bit of a deal breaker. Everyone just be real careful the next farmer's market you go to. The next time I go, I'm definitely looking for the tent where there's a pretty lady that sells soaps and cupcakes and honey and and plants. That truly was just like, that was like, she might as well have just like, I think Delilah missed the detail in the book where like her tent was the colors of the Sapphic flag. Like like she really just like threw everything in there. Like she sells baked goods. She sells homemade soap. She has plants. She has honey from her bees that she keeps. Yeah, that might as well just made the entire tent the colors of the Sapphic flag. Like a big old beacon or like a neon sign that's like, this is the lesbian tent. Look out for your local love witch. Ooh, kind of love witch coded. But for real though, until the end, this book made me so hungry. It made me hungry too. It made me hungry too. Like the fresh bread. Oh my God, when they're eating the fresh bread. Oh, my mouth was watering. Hey, she said until the end. Bread. Honestly, that's the way to, like, I would overlook quite a lot. If you give me fresh homemade bread, I'm very easily won. Very easily won. Like, my mouth was watering. I was like this close to like getting up in the middle of the reading hangout when I was reading this. I'm like, I gotta go make bread. Like, I could smell it when I was reading it. Yeah, I wanted that bread. K bread. Made me nauseous once I knew what was going on. Isn't that like wild though? Like, I think that was so like well done in the book though, like the descriptions of the food and how much weight was put on the food in Rose's mind. Like, she's just, she keeps thinking about like how delicious everything is and the texture of things and how it tastes and things like that. And I feel like it's a really good setup to learning like where the ingredients are coming from. Like it's the perfect like setup and payoff. Where you're like the whole time you're like your mouth is watering. You're like, oh, I want that. That sounds so good. And then you realize, and then your stomach turns. Bread and hot. I'm not gonna lie, like because we keep mentioning the soap, I read that as bread and hot soap at first. Hot soup makes a lot more sense. You gave a whole new meaning to human frosting. I am thinking it's a trap. Every food description. I mean, valid. It was. It was a trap. So like sitting outside Peter's bakery. Yeah, it just made me want some fresh homemade bread. That's all I wanted out of it. But I thought it was good. I think I gave it, what did I give it? 4 stars? I'm gonna have to pull it up. And then you guys can please share also what y'all rated it. My God, where am I going? I just wanted to see what I rated it. That's all. I don't know where I'm going. There we go. Read recently. I did give it 4 stars. For something I could look. Hold on, I got everybody's. Just gonna call everybody out. Tana gave it 4.5. Bria also gave a 4.5. Nice. Like quite high ratings, and Des gave it a 4. Yeah, I quite liked it too. I think it just worked really well for. I think it worked really well for like I think the size was good. Like we mentioned, I could have used more description. I didn't really need it. Like it would have been fine with a little bit more, but I think it gave me enough to go off of. And do you guys ever give out low ratings? Is it just me? No, I feel like I notoriously rate things like really high, but other people in this chat now, I definitely know have given some of our picks lower ratings for sure. Yeah, for sure. I don't, maybe not me, but yeah, but that's, that's a me problem. That's not what I was expecting and quite original. And also gay, so no complaints here. Yeah, I'm like, hey, you know what? I've been recommending this one a lot at work, especially going into Valentine's Day. I'm like, you want something gay and romantic and spooky? Read Bloom. That's definitely an example of one. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. It's just me. Like, I rate things really high. So I don't know what the lowest I've ever rated a creepy book club pick is, but probably wasn't very low. Probably wasn't very low. I'm still being honest. I just glad I read it. Yeah, I'm glad I read it too. It was a nice quick read. Hey, Mindy. Loved this book. It was great. All right, I got it. I got it. I got it. Okay, as per usual. What else did you guys read this month? I finished quite a lot of books that I had started beforehand. And technically I did start them before, well, some of them before I think Storygraph introduced their like pause feature, which I really like, by the way. I'll always sing Storygraph's praises because it's just great. But a pause feature is fucking brilliant because sometimes I'll have a book in my like currently reading for like 4 months before I finish it. And I'll come back to it and I'll finish it. But then it just looks like it took me 4 months to read it. I'm like, actually, it took me like 3 weeks. I just read it for 2 weeks and then I didn't read it for 3 months and then I finished it in a week. So some of these I just finished in January, but my nonfiction was The Haunting of Alma Fielding, which was interesting. Not what I was expecting. I finished A Dark and Drowning Tide. Also very gay. Super happy about that. I read If It Bleeds, really because I just wanted to read The Life of Chuck because Mike Flanagan is adapting that. And one of my friends, who's a big like Stephen King nerd, I actually don't know if he's that big of a Stephen King nerd. I just know he reads it every single year. So I think that makes you a Stephen King nerd a little bit. Was saying to me that like Life of Chuck would be hard to put to screen, and I didn't really get that. I liked the story a lot. I thought The Life of Chuck was great. I don't really understand why it's going to be hard to adapt. I think it'll be fine. Oh, and I finished Moby Dyke, also gay. This was nonfiction. Also gay, a manga. This one's long. The guy she was interested in wasn't a guy at all. It was super cute, and the colors are like really cool. I like the green that was like all throughout the book. It's cute. I read a lot of gay stuff. Look at me. And I read Witchcraft for Wayward Girls, which was not as gay as it could have been. And then I got a graphic novel in here too, Bad Dreams in the Night, which was really cute. Got a lot of gay stuff. Good for me. Fuck N-A. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Okay. Well, you're late because you're rewatching The Substance. That's a perfect reason to be late. Love that movie. It came in the mail and I needed to rewatch it immediately. Dude, I understand. Completely. Holding out for it to win some shit at the Oscars. We'll see. Hope it can do horror proud. Yellowface. Loved Yellowface. Such a frustrating read, like intentionally so. But oh my god. The Children's Six. I don't know if I know that one. Cursed Bunny and a gay vampire Argentinian book called Vamp. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Luminous Dead is also gay? No? It's on my TBR, and I feel like I put it on my TBR because I was told there was gay in it. Oh, and it's kind of a funny story. I desperately need Vicky to stop reading Stephen King. I'll be completely honest. If It Bleeds was not that bad. This one is probably up there for me. Like, this one was not that bad. Although I feel like the title, the titular story, because this is 4 stories, was my least favorite. It was like a sequel to The Outsider. I kind of hate that he does that sometimes. But I didn't realize it was like a sequel to The Outsider until it started, and I was like, well, I might as well just finish it. But I liked the other stories actually. They weren't like 100% horror. They were kind of more like the Twilight Zone-y, I would say. Like just maybe a little bit creepy or something weird is happening, but not necessarily horror. Like I genuinely didn't mind this. Like this was fine. I just wanted to read it for the life of Chuck. That's all. Leave me alone. My other phase of January were Full Speed to a Crash Landing by Beth Revis and We'll Prescribe You a Cat. Neither are spooky. Nice though. No, Stephen King has entered the chat. I think I read enough gay stuff that it offsets the King. I think it offsets. Slowly becoming a King stan. Really dog. Yeah, Salem's Lot was not my favorite, to be honest. It took a long time for anything to happen in that book. Rhythm of War, Basket Full of Heads, The Imposition of Unnecessary Obstacles, Guillotine, All the Violet Tiaras, Queering the Greek Myths. Ooh! That sounds interesting. All the Violet Tiaras. Hold on, I'm gonna take a picture of that. Violet Tiaras. Love the cover also. It's a gorgeous cover. Simple. I like it. Okay. Taking a screenshot of that. Feast While You Can. I have that one because it was recommended in the Discord. Grade 9. The Stand is 1,100 pages. Why aren't you why are we not telling Bree to stop bringing up Stephen King? Why just me? I didn't even say anything bad about it. I just brought it up. I hardly read the 1,000-page book. I had hardly read the 1,000-page book in a month. Yeah. The only time I've read a book like that big, like Priory of the Orange Tree, or like It, or something like that, like I had to dedicate I had to do the thing like reading it in 3 days. Otherwise, I would still be trying to read it. And then the only difference with that and like Priory is gay, and so I have a lot more interest in the in that aspect of it. So that made it easier to read. But even then, like I had to like lock in with the audiobook also while I was reading, because it was just that would have taken me forever too. It still took me quite a long time to read it. Luminous Dead and Yes Gay. Yeah. That's what I thought. 2 of them are graphic novels, which sometimes feel like cheating. It's not cheating. It is not cheating. It is not. Reading is reading is reading. It does have a bit of gay. Okay. Black Cake by Charmaine Wilkerson. The Drift by C.J. Tudor. World Without End by Ken Follett. That's a beefy one. World Without End. Like all of Ken Follett's books are beefy. Kill for Me, Kill for You. Guess by Keelan Patrick Burke. Nice. Vicky, can you read Lucy Undying before you read any more King? I want to say yes, but also I just can I just read The Monkey before the movie comes out? One short story. If I'm reading Lucy Undying at the same time. I just don't know if I'll finish it before I just want to read the short story before I review the movie. Does that make sense? Is that okay? Is that a stipulation we can agree on? Like if I start Lucy Undying tomorrow, who knows? I might still finish it because I'm not going to read the entirety of Skeleton Key, which is where the monkey is in. I just want to read the monkey. Skeleton Key is a beefy one. I'm not trying to finish that. But just for the sake of the review, I feel like if it's a story or a book, like my inclination is that I want to read it before I watch the movie. I don't know if that's just because I'm a book person or what. Or are we still reading a misogynist, fatphobic N-words there? Fair. Indie World Without End has been on my TBR for over 15 years. I feel that I've become smarter just from reading the titles of your books. Does this book sound like a poem when read? It does. I should have. I'm committed to my reading challenge. My reading challenge is 60, and I'm not too optimistic about it. The year is young. We're not even 2 months in. You got this. You got it. Agree. Reading is reading. Thank you. I get I was holding back a little bit, but I get super passionate about that because the amount of times I see it makes my heart ache. Like I'll be walking through the kids department and graphic novels are super popular just in general, but they're super popular in the kids department. And there's a lot of kids that want to read some graphic novels, and there's some really great ones. Like there's honestly some really great ones with some really great themes, to the point where some of them are banned because they have such awesome themes. And the amount of times I'll be walking past and a kid will have 3 or 4 books in their hand and they'll be graphic novels, and their parent looks through it and they're just like, no, I want you to get a real book. No, you can't have that. You need to pick out a real book. And I'm just like, it's not my place. It's not my place to step in at that moment, but I really want to every time I hear it. And I'm like, you are going to make reading not fun for this child if you keep doing that. Let them get a graphic novel, or maybe make them have them make a deal with you, one graphic novel, one traditional book. But I hate that. And that is my soapbox. Nothing against what you guys said in the chat about the graphic novels, but that's just I'm like, reading is reading. Reading is reading. Yeah, that's crazy. My coworker is doing that, but she gets I don't want to say tripped up, but she has said herself that the short story books slow her down. I can't remember where I think actually last time I checked in to see where she was, I just asked her, I think she was on Skeleton Key. I don't know how far that is into publication order. Fair, the monkey. Okay, cool. I will provide proof that I will start Lucy Undying tomorrow. Deal. Another virtual handshake. By the end of this year, I'm gonna have at least 7 or 8 deals that I have to make sure I fulfill with Des. What the heck? What the heck? This is not fair. This is not fair. Have I mentioned I DNF my first book already? I'm so sad and hoping it'd take me longer. Did you share it in the Discord? Because I feel like I remember you doing that. That you shared like your first. Unless it was a different time and I'm misremembering. What was the book? That might help jog my memory. Oh, it's also ableist too. Which one? Sorry, I'm missing bits. What is? Personally so happy when my students told me they read Heartstopper. And then they even continue with the non-comic books too. Exactly. Like it's just going to encourage reading. Like they're going to find stories that they like in graphic novel form that they're going to want more. And they're just naturally going to pick up other books, like other types of books. So it really gets me going. Really gets me going. When somebody like is like, I don't know, I feel guilty. I feel like it doesn't count if graphic novel with a graphic novel. I'm like, it counts. It counts, God damn it. It counts. Do it for the kids. It counts. And if they're banning graphic novels because of the content of them, I feel like that means that content wise, graphic novels on the same level as traditional books. On the same level. If it's enough that they're like challenging them and banning them, I don't think you're losing out on anything. Personally. Okay, stepping off the soapbox again. Sorry, I had to get back on. Reading is reading, but for me, the fact that a graphic novel read in 30 minutes and a 111 page book, 1011 page book, both counts as one book read sometimes feel wrong. I do think graphic novel counts as a book. Okay, I agree with that. Like, I think if you read like a 1100 page book, that should count like 3 books for sure. Absolutely. And then you could rig the system. Would I fault you if when you finish The Stand, if you just logged in Storygraph that you like read it 2 more times to boost your numbers? I don't think anybody would fault you for that. Oh, the book I complained about it. Oh, okay. I gotcha. I see. Speaking of deals, I'm next in line to borrow New Moon from the library. Yes. Yes. I'm so excited. You're going to read them so fast, though, and I feel like it's going to take me so much longer to read Lord of the Rings. Actually embarrassed. The book I DNF'd was I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings. I was just not in the right mind space for it. Hey, sometimes that happens. Like a DNF doesn't necessarily mean, like it doesn't have to mean like you're never going back to it. It's the same with movies. Like sometimes I watch a movie and I'm just like, I'm not in the right headspace for it and I end up not liking it. And then I go back and watch it later with a different mindset and I enjoy it, or vice versa. You know what I mean? So if you don't go back to it, that's okay. But if you do end up going back to it in a different headspace, that's okay too. Sorry, saying graphic novels and audiobooks are not. Did you say that? Did you say that? I don't remember saying that. I was more reacting to where like Bree said she felt like guilty, or I don't know if guilty was the word you used, but you go, Des. Let us know if you're Team Edward or Team Jacob. I feel like knowing Des, I feel like there's no way he could be on one of those teams. Rigging Storygraph. You could do it. How's Storygraph gonna know? When you finish The Stand, just like next month, put that you're currently reading The Stand, and then you finish it in like 2 days, according to Storygraph, and then it counts as another read, and then do it again, and then you got 3 books. I mean, no one. Okay, agreed. But one is definitely worse than the other one. There is one that is the more evil of the two. Have you encountered anyone who says juvenile lit and YA read by adults aren't real reading accomplishments? Not really. Not really. Most of the time I'll hear maybe people talking about a book they liked, and they'll kind of sheepishly be like, I know it's a kid's book, but I really liked it, and they talk about it or something like that. Or I know it's meant for middle schoolers or something like that. But I don't think I've encountered anyone personally that are saying that it's not a real reading accomplishment. There's still some great stories. I like to occasionally go back to like the young adult section and pick something up and give it a read just to see like what is new. It's like, I mean, partially for my job, partially personal interest, right? Just to see like what trends are in those areas now. Like, because the books that were popular when I was a teen are very different from the books that are, well, in some ways. Some things have stayed the same, but there's a lot of ways that it has changed a lot. And then like I love reading middle grade books. Like I just finished Wildwood this past week because Leica Studios is adapting it. And it was a great story, and it's a middle grade book. Like it's meant for, I'd say like older middle grades, probably meant for like maybe like 11, 12, 13-year-olds, technically speaking, but it was a great story. I loved it. Okay, good night, Marielle. I think reading the fast books makes up for the amount of time spent on a 1,000-page book. That's true. Like if you had like split that into 3 like 300-page books, like it probably would have taken you the same amount of time. I always read some short things at the same time as long books, so I don't get discouraged. I'm not finishing it. That's a really great way to look at it. I also love, I mean, I love reading graphic novels anytime anyway, because I just like, I like the art aspect of it too, like seeing the art style and how that feeds into the story. I also think it's a great way to get out of a reading slump sometimes too, when I'm like I feel like I haven't read anything or I haven't finished anything. And then like with that mindset of like, let me read a graphic novel that I'll finish more quickly. And then you feel like a bit of an accomplishment there. I think that's great, actually, Mindy. Daisy's like, she's happy. Yeah. She's like, it's too loud. I agree, and I do the same. Yeah, it's a great tool for that. Latest Hunty book is 1,300 pages. Jeez. Damn. There's nothing that like quite like feels like the accomplishment of finishing a super long book, but I agree. I feel like you need those smaller books in there. For sure. But I think I don't know if it would help necessarily, maybe like the feeling of accomplishment or maybe like balancing that out. But again, just gonna talk about the story graph so much. They have like, you can set a pages challenge as well. Like because you can set like a book challenge, like how many books read. You can set pages, and you can set like listening hours or minutes, I think. No, hours. I can't remember if it's hours or minutes. But you could set a pages challenge. I did that one year, like in tandem with a reading challenge. So that might make it help it feel a little more worth like the time. If you set like a higher pages challenge, and then you have a book that's like 1,100 pages that contributes to that. Have I read World Tree? Is that how you say that? World Tree? James Tinian, 4th graphic novel. I haven't heard of that one, but I have read their other graphic novels. The Undernet, A Secret Architecture to the Internet. What the heck? Huh. Interesting. This looks weird. I'm kind of into it. I'm kind of into it. I love Something is Killing the Children by them. Love, love, love Something is Killing the Children. I thought we were supposed to be getting an adaptation of that, but I don't know that that's happening anymore, unfortunately. Yeah, World Tree, it's super good, super graphic, super scary. Okay. I'm taking a pic of it now so I don't think we have this at work, but I can for sure order it. For sure. If we don't, I feel like I haven't seen it before, but that doesn't mean much. If I haven't seen it, doesn't mean a lot. Okay, I have probably yapped for a little bit too long. So just real quick, next month's read, this month's read. I don't have it with me. It's in the other room, but it's Supplication by Noor Abinakul. I hope I said that correctly. I'll make sure I have the correct pronunciation before the next stream. I'm gonna try and read this one in one sitting too, just with the vibes of it. Seems like maybe might lend itself to like a one sitting thing. We'll see how successful I am at that. I don't think I'll wait till the reading hangout though. I'll read it sooner than that, but yeah. And I'll make sure this week I'll make the YouTube lives for all the next book club picks like I did before, how I was like super ahead. So that way it's not more last minute, but yeah. So that's what we're reading now. And then after that, actually, hold on, let me put up, in case anybody doesn't want to read that one or you can't read it that month, just jump ahead. There's our next ones. Listen to Your Sister is for March. It's out now. The book is already out, so you can get it. It just came out this month, so I wanted to make sure we had enough time to read it. So Listen to Your Sister will be next month. And of course, anybody can always read ahead. I know some people have probably read The Eyes Are the Best Part. The Spirit Bears His Teeth have been out. There you go. Hopefully I can make myself pick those books up again. Haven't touched it in a week though. Hey, if you don't, it's okay. You can always just start on one of the other ones if you want, or just read something else. It's okay. DNFing is a-okay. If you gotta, you gotta. All right. Well, I'll go ahead and end that there. Thanks for another great stream, another great discussion. Can't wait to talk about Supplication with you guys in a month's time. I think because February is so short, March is like everything's on the same day in March. So I'll see you exactly a month from now March 7th, we'll talk about supplication. I'm pretty sure that's correct. Have a good night. Bye.